All right. Really, the only person that won't practice today will be Vince, and he's getting better. He's running on it in the pool, and it's really just it's a day-to-day thing right now. So making great progress, working his tail off. He's been in here since he had the injury every day and long hours. And then we brought and re-signed Joselio Hanson, and Trevor Lindley was released. Again, it's good to have Jose back, and at the same time, Trevor he's a good young player, and we obviously wish him the best. He gave us some very good snaps last year, and I know he's going to have a good career in the National Football League. Other than that, we're on to the Rams, so it's we look forward to the opportunity of playing the Rams, and we obviously know a little bit about them because of the coaching staff, and Spags has done a phenomenal job there, and you can see it with his defense and the way they ranked last year. Both he and Ken Flagel put together a defense that really accelerated a lot of areas, third down being one of them, negative defensive plays, which also combines the sack percentage, and they're 7th in the National Football League in that, and 7th in negative runs, so behind line of scrimmage. So it's they've done a nice job, and the players, you turn on the film, you see the players playing their hearts out, fast and furious football. So and then offensively, when Pat left to Cleveland, he brought in Josh, and Josh has brought in with him the New England system, and with either the system Pat was running, which is our system, or the New England system, they've got a quarterback there that can play football, and he was a great college player, and it hasn't changed a bit in the National Football since he's been in the National Football League. He knows how to play the game, tremendous accuracy and poise. And then they've got some familiar faces that were with us here at the Eagles. Right now, Quentin's playing his heart out. He's doing a nice job for him. And Al Harris is back and playing and doing a good job. And then Danny and Gibson, and I'm missing somebody here. But anyway, they're doing nice work and playing good football and helping that football team out. So between special teams, offense, and defense, we know we're playing a good football team. We're playing down there, which is a loud place. We've tried to attack that issue as far as working with the noise. We've got a couple of days under our belt with that, and so again, we look forward to that challenge. Thank you.
Did you have some type of, I guess, an agreement or with Joselio that you guys cut him, but there was a good chance to be back and pay for your out?
No, not necessarily. No.
How did that all evolve? It's kind of an unusual run of events there.
Well, we just, as the time went on there, we thought that keep another veteran player that's got the experience that he has would work out. So we were able to work it in there.
Will Hanson be your first team nickel?
We'll see how all that goes. I'm not obviously going to say who I'm playing and not playing. I mean, that's not what we do, right?
Well, what was then behind the decision? I mean, if there wasn't any, you cut a guy, Hanson, you kept Lindley, and then you wind up bringing Hanson back and cut Lindley, so why?
Well, there are a lot of things that go into it. Howie and I decided that as time went on here that we bring him back, and obviously it has to be a two-way consent there. So Jose wanted to come back, and we wanted him back, so it all worked out well.
Andy, have you ever been with a team, not necessarily as a head coach, where 4 of your 5 offensive linemen are different than the previous year starting the season? Or different positions, they're playing different positions?
Well, my first couple of years, obviously when I took the job here, they were all different because I didn't know any of them. And then after that first year, we made some changes. And really every year, for the first couple of years, there 3 or so years, we made changes and added people, moved them around, did what we did.
And if Young can't play, so are you comfortable with just the quarterbacks to, trust him?
Well, if that's the case, I would do that, yeah. I would, listen, I have a lot of trust in Mike Kafka, so I've said that publicly before. I mean, I don't make the Kevin Cobb deal without Mike Kafka. I haven't trusted in his growth process, and I just wouldn't have done that. So, anyways, yeah, if that's the case, then I would probably go with 2, and I've got full trust in Mike.
And you talked the first day up at Lehigh about the challenge of having so many new parts, new players, new coaches, new coordinators, new systems, and getting it all put together by opening day. How do you feel like that process has gone? And you've had just 6 weeks really to squeeze a whole.
And Ruben, when you get about 3/4 of the way through training camp, you kind of went, this is we're at that same point. Now, some of the young guys were still growing, and what you had different layers of players coming in at different times. So you had the first tier that came in, and then the free agents came in, and then you had a couple guys holding out, they came in. And so, but by the time you got 3/4 of the way through, you felt like you're on track, and it seemed like the way it's always been.
When you have such little time with all these rookies and miss little camps, and usually you have some veterans here who started that you're not going to. Why this year, when you're all in, do you go with that approach where you play so many guys who've never played it down? That's what it looks like.
Well, I'd have a hard time telling you that I wasn't all in every season. So, I mean, I've never come into a season where I didn't say I was all in. I mean, I'm there every year. So this is no different than that. I'm there this year.
But it is different that you're starting more rookies than you've ever had, and this is the only different year.
We've started rookies before, and I don't have a problem with that. Rookies play a significant amount of time, and I'm okay with that. As long as they can play, right? That's the important part of it. So, and that goes for anybody. That goes for veteran players. As long as they're good players and they can play, then I'm playing, and that's that part's no different.
Now that you've had recent justice back for a couple of practices, now it seems like he's getting better. And he's shooting for for Sunday. I mean, he's trying to get himself back into the swing. This is the first time he's had a chance. Remember when he wasn't able to practice, the coaches weren't able to work with him. So on the different techniques and fundamentals. So that's all new for him. He's working through that right now.
And how much has Michael Vick grown, do you think, from the end of last season?
Well, I think he's gotten better this camp. I think he picked up where he left off, and he's getting better every day. So, and that's the way it should be with every coach and every player. You should be working to do that. And one nice thing about football is there's no ceiling. So you can continue to work to get yourself better every day. There's some part of your game that you can do that with. And he came back in phenomenal shape and with a great mindset, and wanted to take it even up another notch from last year. And he's done that to this point. Now we've got to play the games and so on, and then time tells in those situations. But he sure has prepared himself well.
Where's Macklin right now?
Oh.
Andy, where's Jeremy Macklin right now in terms of being ready?
Yeah, you know what? Jeremy practiced last week, and then these last few practices he's taking every snap like he had been playing, and so he'll have an opportunity to play.
And he's got an unusual situation with, and we've talked a lot about Deshaun during the summer, but obviously with his contract and playing for the minimum and putting himself at risk, has he shown you anything? I mean, has he expressed anything to you, or are you confident that he's going to go out there and be the Deshaun that you're used to seeing?
Deshaun came in and he made the point that there was a business side of it and the football side of it. He was going to focus in. He's taking care of the business side, both he and Drew, and
so now he's free to play football and not worry about that. And that's what he's done. I mean, he said he'd do it, and that's how he's handled himself. He's been very focused. He's looking forward to getting the season started, and he's separated the two, which that's not always an easy thing to do, but he's been very good with that.
And at cornerback, with all the, now you have Hanson back and all the other guys that you brought in who can play, what's your sense of what their roles are going to be now that you've had them through the preseason?
Yeah, well, we'll see. Yeah, listen, if you have the opportunity as a coach to have good players, then you play those players, and so and we'll have to see. They've got a group of receivers that are very quick and explosive, so it's important that we're able to match that and put good players out there, and we have good players here, so that's a good thing. Now we just got to get down and make sure we detail our work.
Do you see their roles changing from week to week depending on?
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how all that works. It just gives you a little flexibility there, depending on what Juan wants to do with it, and take it week by week and see how things go.
Steve Smith, will he be ready to play?
Well, you know what? He's going to go through this week. He's been taking reps with the first group in a rotation there. So I'm just going to see how he works out this week. I know he wants to play, and feels like he's ready, and we'll just see how everything goes.
Any expectations after the game?
Louder.
Watching?
Right. A little bit louder.
Sorry?
Just say it a little bit louder. It's hard to
Okay,
hear.
yeah, we've talked to you since after the game. How does Watkins grade out, and how do you feel about him going into the first game? And you brought in another guard. Can you explain the thinking behind bringing in the van?
Well, the obvious with Devan is he started a few years there for Howard and the Colts when Howard left, and did a nice job for him. He was starting guard on the Super Bowl team, and so he knows Howard's system, and which we're using right now. So that's a positive thing, and it gives us just another good offensive lineman. Danny did a nice job. Danny's, you got to remember with Danny now, and this is an important thing here with him, is that when you move from the college to the pros, that's a tough deal. When you move from tackle to guard, that's another tough deal. And when you move from the left side to the right side, that's another tough deal. And then you add on to it missing part of camp. So he's been playing a catch-up game all the way through here. And even though he's a little bit older, he's still a rookie, and he's working his tail off. And I'm proud of him for how he's handled things. And he'll do nothing but continue to get better.
Of course, someone may bring up all those things you just mentioned and wonder why you're starting at the guard.
Well, he can play the game, and so we've got flexibility there to do whatever we want to do. And that's the nice thing about it.
Will he start, son?
Well, I'm not going to get into all the personnel things here. That's what we'll see.
There's been a lot of focus on Casey Matthews because of his name and the position he plays. Can you just talk about how he's handled the spotlight and the role that he's in right now?
You know what? Casey has done he's done a nice job. And what you saw with Casey was improvement every game that he played. And Juan hasn't slowed down a little. So he's asked him to be the primary signal caller. And he's he attacked that innate learning ability of his and tested it. And so Casey was able to retain and be able to make all the calls and still at the same time get better every week playing football. And that's a tribute to the kid. It's a little bit like what I was saying about Danny, and probably what I tell you about Kelsey and the other rookies here, is that Roll is another one that we've asked to do some things. They're all getting better, and that's a positive thing.
Andy, what's the bit about moves you made in the off season and the expectations that come with that, probably maybe more heightened this year than before? Do you, as coaches and players, feel that excitement, or do you just temper it as always and try to just take it week by week?
Well, no, listen, we're coaches, we're players, this is what we do professionally. We're excited to get the season started. I don't think, you talk to anybody in the business, I think you guys are the same way. It's time to get going. You guys want to get in the season and get this thing, get it going, and that's the exciting part about our business. So I think everybody's fired up, and I would say that about both teams. I think both teams will be fired up and ready to go.
And it's kind of unusual. You designated Watkins as your starter on draft day, and I mean he's been with the Ones since day one, so it's kind of unusual that you won't confirm that he's going to start. I mean, you having second guesses there? Or?
No, but listen, if I weren't to put him in, you know how I operate with that. Is sometimes it's good to take one small step back to take a big step forward, and so he'll be out there. You'll see him out there practicing, and we've got Kyle, who also can play in that spot, and so we're comfortable with either direction that we go, and that's how I feel.
Okay, I would say, as you know, Steve Bednall likes to bring a lot of loose packages. What types of challenges does that present for your offensive line, as it's configured now with all the young players?
Well, listen, there's nobody sharper than Spags and Flage. Ken Flagel I've worked with for a lot of years, and he's pretty good too. So I'm sure they'll have some good stuff for us that we've got to answer. That's what they do, and there are not a lot of people that do it better. So we'll prepare the best way we can possibly prepare and be ready for them.